You came up and I recognized you because I watch your YouTube videos all the time.
What?
And I'm
No
so hyped.
way!
What?
Yes,
Oh my
so
God.
hyped. I was trying to hide my like whoa face. That was really nice. Nice to meet you.
That's so cool.
Oh God, I don't even know what to say anymore.
The trailer and the
I got a funny feeling. Yeah.
Welcome, folks. I'm Jaby
sorry.
Koaay, joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hi.
And you're going to see two interviews. We just wrapped doing it right now. One is with Sana Amanat. I'm probably saying her name wrong.
Sana.
Sana. Go ahead.
Sana Anamat.
And then Bisha K. Ali. Please check out both. They're quite fun. Really appreciate you guys being here. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Yes, I love. I can't say anything. Okay, cool.
Yeah, check it out, you
Check
guys.
it out.
It's great. Two amazing Desi women.
Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Making it in Hollywood.
Here it is. Hello there. I am Jaby Koaay and joined by ACHARA KIRK.
Hi.
And
Hello.
we are with youtube.com/getjaby.
Very nice. What is does your shirt say Jet? What does it say? Does it say Jet? No,
Jaby.
G?
Jaby.
Jaby. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great. Very cool.
Wore just for you.
I love it.
I have an interesting question for you. Do you know who Nimesh Patel is, and how much do you relate to his comedy?
Nimesh Patel. I actually don't know if I know his comedy that well. Why?
No, because he's also from Jersey. He's a Daisy from Jersey, and he always talks about his experiences. I thought you might enjoy it.
I know Nimesh. I just don't know. I don't know if I know his comedy that well, but I guess I'm gonna have to go and compare notes.
No worries.
Were you at all surprised by the love that Miss Marvel has received since the comics and now with the show coming out?
Yeah, of course. I mean, Willow and I joked a lot about how, like, Willow, the writer of the comic, joked a lot about how, like, we didn't know how far the issues were going to go. We're like, oh, maybe we'll get issue 9 and we'll see. And the response has been really incredible from day one. And she was truly a breakout star. And I think from there, getting the show and now seeing all of the excitement about the show worldwide has been quite thrilling, and some of the great feedback we've gotten so far in some of the first 2 episodes. I'm just shocked, I guess. I don't know why, even though I'm like, I like it.
Yeah.
I think it's good,
Yeah.
and so, but it's still surprising, and really incredible.
It seems like your ethnicity is very much front and center in your identity on the internet, or how the internet knows you. Did you shy away from your roots as a kid? And if so, when did you feel like you could embrace it?
Yeah, I mean, the funny thing is, like, I don't think I ever shied away from my roots. I grew up in a pretty strong and big brown family in New Jersey, and my parents started a mosque, and so I was going to the mosque every Sunday, and I was a part of the youth group there, and so it was something, I was actually quite proud of. I started a youth group actually in high school to connect different Muslims in the New Jersey area.
That's dope.
And I loved it. I think that it was something that I knew I appreciated, but at the same time, I felt like it wasn't accepted.
Gotcha.
And so that created a lot of stress and uncertainty within myself, and a lot of lack of confidence, because I felt like, oh, is this okay? Is it not okay? Can I be loud and proud in who I am?
Right.
And I think over time in my search for my identity, I realized, actually, like, I went to college. I started a bhangra team, a dance team, a South Asian dance team in college. So, I mean, certainly I found my people, I found my space, and realized I could take up space, actually. And that is something that was, I think, really the source of Kamala, and that story was telling a story about someone not rejecting her identity, but really trying to understand it and her place within all these different aspects of her identity.
Gotcha.
And finding a way to ultimately celebrate, like, what she wants to create from that.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think that really comes across very strongly. What aspects of Pakistani culture did you feel were most important to incorporate into the comics and the show?
Well, I mean, I think it's just the little things, like the way that, Kamala, whether it's like her disconnect with her parents and them not understanding this, like, love for, Marvel and love for these Avengers superheroes, which felt like the way my mother was with me. And she didn't understand the fact that, like, what's Saved by the Bell? You're crazy. Like, what are these dumb, stupid American shows? Like, it's the same kind of thing of, like, not understanding this Americanness, as, our parents probably would say. That was incredibly important. The clothes, the food, the music, the textures, the color, all of that was important. And little phrases within, especially the show, just kind of doing code switching was important to us, so that we can show that this is what families sound like. You know? Sometimes they'll say some Urdu words and sometimes not. And I think that feels very real.
Yeah.
So taking out the supernatural elements, how much of an autobiography for you is Miss Marvel?
You know, an autobiography of Willow, and then of course, you know, Bisha, our head writer, and I think everyone has kind of brought themselves into it. But I think the core, the beginning of the character really started with things that I had been going through as a young person and trying to understand that, and that's really what we injected, and that's how we actually found the story of what worked for Kamala Khan and the overall art, the overall story of how she kind of tries to be like people that don't look like her, and her realizing that she kind of needs to look to herself and her family.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So Shahrukh Khan has been confirmed in the MCU now. And I heard that you said that you would do a reshoot for the series if he decided that he wanted to be a part of it. Now, are there any other Bollywood or Pakistani actors that you would be like, yes, we will definitely reshoot the series for you if you want to come on board?
Oh my God. This is hard. I don't know. So many. Like Amir Khan, Madhuri Dixit, love her.
Wow.
Yeah.
Classic. Aishwarya Rai, love him.
Okay.
Amitabh Bachchan. Like just all, there's so many, you know, Abhishek Bachchan's great too.
Yeah. We'll just have all the Bachchans.
Yeah, like I just love, there's just all the Khans. All the Bachchans. Yeah, that would be awesome. But guess what? We have Farhan Akhtar, and he's amazing, and Fawad Khan, and Mavish Hayat, and Samin Ahmed, and just great, actors from South Asia.
Looking at your background, I noticed that like identity rejection was something that you were sort of dealing with before Marvel stuff, and in terms of like trying to help out combating that. And so this is sort of a crystal ball question, but I feel like you might have an interesting answer. Do you feel like your kids and their generation will be free of identity rejection, or will it take a lot more time?
I hope so. I mean, I will say I'm just seeing even in my nieces, you know, my nephews, they're a lot more okay in who they are and celebrating their culture. I think they don't necessarily fully understand and appreciate it because they're like one removed, you know, they don't speak Urdu like I do. And, you know, so there's this disconnect. So I just hope that, you know, as much as I believe that sort of identity politics might not be sort of completely at the forefront of their lives, I do think they're still going to be dealing with it. I think that is kind of the reality of, you know, just sometimes how politics have slowly evolved and devolved, unfortunately. I think there might be an aspect of it, but my hope is they continue to sort of celebrate their existence and their communities and their identities, which I think this show does really well, and that they learn more about who they are and where they come from and kind of stand tall in that.
Cool. Thank you so much for your time. Really, really appreciate all your answers. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
Thank you.
Have a good
Bye,
one.
guys.
Bye.
Hello, I am Jaby Koaay, joined by ACHARA KIRK, and we are with Get Jaby.
Hi, it's Bisha. I'm so excited to see you guys. I just like you came up and I recognized you because I watch your YouTube videos all the time.
What?
And I'm
No
so hyped.
way!
What?
Yes,
Oh
I'm so
my
hyped.
God.
I was trying to hide my like whoa face. That was really nice. Nice to meet you.
That's so cool.
Oh, God, I don't even know what to say anymore.
The trailer and the teaser drops. I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, they liked it. Wait, he's into it? What's happening?
All right, the interview's over. We can leave now.
All right, please. All right, let's go for a drink. Let's do it.
Oh my God, I love it. Well, we're huge fans of the show. So I had just a random question for you. So apart from the glorious weather, what do you miss the most about the UK now that you're living in LA?
I'm actually back in the UK at the moment.
No
I'm working
way.
on another show. I am, yes. I'm working on another show. 2 days off to do this press junket. But what do I miss about the UK when I was away was I love Jaffa cakes and I really love bourbon biscuits. I don't know. I've got a real biscuit physique. Those are two things I really, really miss. And I really miss pubs. Just miss being in a pub, you know?
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to fire off a bunch of questions as fast as we can just because they're going to
do
cut
it.
off the time really soon. So
I know,
who are
sorry.
your,
And I'm a talker. Go.
okay, who are your favorite Desi comics, and are you going to champion any of them to appear in Marvel?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I love Kamal, but he's already in the MCU. Oh, Nish Kumar is a very close friend of mine who's a British stand-up.
Okay.
He's a legend. I think he would love to be in the MCU. And I have I have a really clear character in mind for him if we could get it done. He would be brilliant. Hassan Minaj would be great in the MCU, just as a cool vibey guy who's always out there giving good advice, I think. Those are my top three.
Oh, so I really enjoyed the Illuminatis in the show, the Illuminantes, sorry. And I was just like, yes, Auntie Power is real. What other Desi superpowers do people need to know about?
Oh my gosh, just the food. Our food just bangs. Our food is so good. That for sure, the food. I don't know if it's a superpower, just like a baseline default of like eat good and love your body and love yourself. That's the vibe with the food. The Illuminati. Can we just shout out Saber Pirzada, who was one of the writers in the writers' room, who then went on to work on Moon Knight. Illuminati to the Saber Pirzada original, that phrase. And yeah, I just love it. And he's a genius and I love him.
So how many instances were there of you hanging out with your family and being like, yep, that's definitely going in the show?
I mean, I was living across the world from them at the time, but there are so many elements that are of not just my family, but of all the families of the writers in the writers' room, which was not just Pakistani families, but families from all over that have gone in small, tiny ways in bringing this to life. I will say that one element that is very much from my family is my mum is a huge Bon Jovi fan, and that has certainly worked its way into the show.
That's awesome.
So what aspects of Pakistani and South Asian culture did you feel were most important to include in the show?
It's an interesting question because I think it's born of what's in the comics. There's a lot of love and respect for the comics from every creator involved in the show, and there's so much of it is just in there.
Yeah.
And the key to it is that it's part of the fabric of the comics, and in the same way with the show, everything that you're seeing in Pakistani, or whether it's Pakistani culture or South Asian or Muslim culture, it's just part of the fabric of her day-to-day life. She's an American girl living her life, and that happens to be part of it. And that was a really important approach to how we curated what to show or not show throughout the entirety of the season.
If you can recall the headspace you were in, what was it like being entrusted with an episode of Loki? And how does it compare to doing Miss Marvel?
Loki was like a really free, chill vibe for me because I wasn't the head writer, so there's a lot less pressure.
Oh, wow.
So I could leave the stressing to Waldron on that one. I think the gift of writing on Loki, and my episode in particular, it was always in the writers, and we kind of always broke it as like a standalone adventure almost that they go on that has like obviously connectivity to everything else in this big moment. I think actually the end of my episode actually ended up in the edit at the top of the next episode, and that everything in my episode would have been all on Lamentis. And the gift of that, I love talking about this by the way, the gift of Lamentis for me is they're very much like, just go ahead and make it up, like do what you want. And I was like, for real? And they were like, yes, go do what you want. So the world building on Lamentis was Bisha in her bedroom crying that she can't believe she gets to do this, making up that the moon Lamentis, and the first drafts are like 5,000 pages long, and there's a war on the planet. There's all this other stuff going on that we obviously revised and cut down, but that was really freeing. And then relative to this, where you'll feel like this vanguard of like, protect your own vision, also open yourself up to the visions of all the directors, open yourself up to Kevin and to Sana, and respect the comic books, bring all these writers into a space where they can give their best work. That's my like happy place, is a writer's room where everyone's like passionate and excited and it feels comfortable to share true things about themselves. And so there's a pressure with that wasn't the same for me in Loki, but a different kind of joy to it as well.
Bisha, you are so dope. I would love to hang out with you someday. Like, I just would love to just chat with you all day long, but we have to wrap up our interview now. Thank you so much, and you are so awesome.
It's been a pleasure.
And looking forward to talking to you again soon.
You too. Keep up the good work, guys. I really appreciate all that you do. It's great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Take care.
All right, you guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that. Thanks so much for hanging out. Again, before you take off, hit that subscribe button, bell icon, all notifications, and pretty please vote this up to let YouTube know you're enjoying what you're watching. Peace out.